This session is primarily for FMG students. Guys, 20th January is the date for our FMG examination, and I believe it's a good thing. All of us were expecting that the exam will happen somewhere in the December end, but we got like more than 3 weeks, so that's a great thing. So how to utilize these 3 weeks extra and the remaining 1.5 months? So in totality we have got like 2 months. अपने पास 2 महीने हैं. कैसे करना है उसके बारे में डिस्कशन करते हैं. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपको क्या करना चाहिए, वॉट यू हैव टू डू डिपेंड्स प्राइमरली ऑन वेयर आर यू इन द प्रिपरेशन. सो व्हेन आई से वेयर आर यू इन द प्रिपरेशन, आई बेसिकली मीन, आर यू वन ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स हु हैज कंप्लीटेड द कोर्स फ्रॉम एनी सोर्स? If you are a Cerebellum student, well and good. In that case, I'm hoping that you just completed your mission 200 plus first phase yesterday. And if you are following something else, even then it's okay. If you have completed the course, that is the first kind of students that we are dealing with. Those who are in a good situation. Second category of students are those who have completed some subjects. You have completed some subjects. And then there is a significant number of students who come in the third category who have been not studying so well. Their course preparation is minimal. कुछ ज़्यादा अभी तक किया नहीं है, बहुत थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ाई कर पाए हैं, मिनिमल लेवल ऑफ प्रिपरेशन है. सो इन तीनों के बारे में बात करेंगे. आई टॉक अबाउट ऑल दीज 3 कैटेगरी ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स एंड व्हाट कैन बी डन. बिफोर आई स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्पेसिफिक्स, दिस इज समथिंग दैट वी हैव बीन डिस्कसिंग एंड वी हैव बीन हियरिंग फॉर क्वाइट सम टाइम. बहुत बच्चे इस बात को बात करते हैं that are the December and January exam easier? Well, I don't really know the answer, but if you look at the facts, if you look at the pass percentages, for last couple of years the pass percentages of the December sessions has been better than the middle session. जैसे अभी in the last exam hardly the pass percentage was 7-8%, but if you go back to the December exam of last year, it was almost 22%. Right? So I don't know why do they do so, but it appears to be a pattern, and if it is indeed the pattern, then it works good for us, because we can expect a better exam, better paper and a better result in the upcoming examination. So that should be a reason for us to study harder, that this is a great chance to crack the examination. It should not be a reason to get complacent. Why? Because one thing is for sure, whether the pass percentages are increasing or decreasing, one thing is for sure, that the older way of studying, जो आज से 2-3 साल पहले करते थे कि just rectify the PYQs and appear for the examination, that is not going to help you crack the exam or pass the exam. The older approach कि सिर्फ PYQs कर लो 5 साल के, right? It used to take you to like 160, 170. Nowadays, if you focus only on PYQs, my expectation is that you will be somewhere around 100. But if you can cover PYQs plus PYTs, that takes you from 100 to 175 or 180. And if you can do some addition of concepts, that takes you to 200 to 220. Right? So only PYQs, maybe 100, PYQs plus PYTs, 175 to 180, and add to that concepts, it takes you beyond 200. Right? So probably we may get a better paper. We do not know about that. We can just hope for it. But what we know is this is what is going to help us cross 175 marks. And if we can add some of it, we get into that buffer zone जहाँ पे even if something goes wrong in the exam, we still pass the examination. Even if you are somebody who has done very few subjects or who does not remember anything, पढ़ाई हुई नहीं है, बहुत minimal preparation है, for whatever reason पढ़ नहीं पाए अभी तक. Or if you are someone who has done some subjects, कुछ subjects पढ़े हैं but not the rest, I would say still we have a very good chance to crack the examination if we use these 2 months properly. Why? I keep on repeating this thing every time I take a session, whether it is FMG examination, whether it is NEET PG examination, whether it is INI-CET examination. Our exams will continue to test facts. Our papers will continue to ask for facts. हमारे एग्जाम में फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन आने ही आने हैं. मेडिकल साइंसेस है ना, फैक्ट्स तो पूछेंगे ही पूछेंगे. एंड द गुड थिंग एंड बैड थिंग अबाउट फैक्चुअल एग्जामिनेशन इज दिस, देयर इज ओनली लिमिटेड कैपेबिलिटी ऑफ योर ब्रेन. आपका ब्रेन उतना ही एब्जॉर्ब कर सकता है. right? And whatever you read in the last few months, it is going to stay fresh in your brain and you're more likely to recall it. So even if somebody is starting very late, because the exam is factual and because if you can stuff a lot of information in the last months or last weeks, you get a very good chance of cracking the examination. Every year हम ये चीज़ देखते हैं, people start very late, 2 months before, 3 months before, 1.5 months before, end up passing the examination. But उसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? उसके लिए अपने आप को momentum लाना पड़ेगा. We'll have to get that momentum. We'll have to get that momentum. So you saw the you saw the World Cup final match, right? In which we lost. It was very sad. All of us were sad. But one thing that was missing from India's inning was there was no momentum, right? Momentum never increased. We played as if we are playing like in the middle overs throughout. For whatever reason, I'm not trying to take in cricket analogy, but momentum जो है, that helps you a lot. Our preparation should be something like this. We start studying, some plateau, and then it has to go up. Now this is the time, these are the last 2 months when we have to go up, right? If we can ensure that these last 2 months are good, we would definitely crack the examination. So momentum is an absolute must. And what else is required? I just discussed PYQs, which will take us to 100 marks. Add to that PYTs, it will help us cross 175. Some concepts, if we can add, it takes it beyond 200. Even if we say that we don't have much time left for concepts, if you are starting late, even then we have enough time to cover PYQs and PYTs. This is going to help you a lot. PYQs plus PYTs. So if you are starting late, this is your mantra. If you have been studying, I'll talk about that. Then we have to squeeze like these 25-30 marks extra, which comes from the concepts. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे एक चीज़ क्लियर होती है, irrespective of आप अपनी प्रिपरेशन में कहाँ हैं, irrespective of where you are in the preparation, it is 100% doable. 100% doable. ये thought दिमाग से निकाल देना कि नहीं हो पा रहा है. Another thing, it's a disturbing thing. In last couple of days, I have received many messages on Telegram. People are saying that they are finding it difficult to study. See, at this time, not studying is not even an option. यहाँ पे अब option नहीं है. This is the time where the only option is to study. If you are having difficulty in studying, find a way out. If you are having difficulty studying at home, go to the reading room. If you are having difficulty studying alone, sit with a friend. If you are having difficulty studying at home and cannot do not have a library nearby, then relocate. It does not matter what you do, but not studying is not an option. Time नहीं बचा है. We do not have time. We have to use these 2 months in a way, I mean in the best possible way. There is no other option left here. And in the last 2 months, we have to follow a strict schedule. I'll be sharing the schedule with you in a short while, but we have to follow a strict schedule. We just cannot, continue studying without having a template. Template बहुत important है. जब template होता है ना, when you know कि आपको क्या follow करना है, then you also know कि आपने क्या miss किया. When you have a template, you very easily realize what you missed, and that's the important thing to keep you on course. आपका पढ़ाई तभी तो आगे बढ़ेगी जब पता है कि क्या मिस हो रहा है. अभी आपके मैं मैसेजेस ले रहा हूँ, रुक जाइए. पढ़ाई नहीं हो पा रही, जो भी लिख रहा है भाई, पढ़ाई नहीं हो पा रही, ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. पढ़ाई तो करनी है. देखो एक चीज़ याद रखना, दिस होल लाइन कि पढ़ाई नहीं हो पा रही, दिस इज इन कंटेजियस. दिस लाइन इज कंटेजियस. The more you say it, the more it gets reinforced. And the more you hear people saying it, the more you start getting impacted by it. खुद बोल के अपने पे भी इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है, कोई और बोल रहा है तो उसका भी इम्पैक्ट पड़ रहा है. द मोमेंट यू हियर समबडी सेइंग पढ़ाई नहीं हो रही है, उससे बात मत करो और अपने आप से ये वाली बात रिपीट मत करो. राइट, सी इट हैज़ अ ह्यूज साइकोलॉजिकल इम्पैक्ट. व्हेन यू से पढ़ाई नहीं हो रही है, यू फाइंड इट डिफिकल्ट टू स्टडी. वी हैव टू स्टडी यार, 60 डेज भी नहीं बचे हैं. देयर इज नो ऑप्शन लेफ्ट हियर. चलिए, coming to the specifics, this is what we have to do. We have to clock at least 10 hours a day, right? 8 to 10 hours is the bare minimum. I would say at least 10 hours. If you can push it to 11 or 12, very good. And we cannot take more than one break in 10 days. So 10 hours a day. In fact, I would say max 1 day break in every 15 days. Now that we are left with only 2 months. So this is something that we have to do. At least 10 to 12 hours a day. And at least 14 days in 15 days. ये तो करना ही है अपने को. If you can do this, I guarantee you, I can bet on this that you will definitely get selected. If you can study for 10 to 12 hours a day for the remaining 2 months with no more than 4 or 5 breaks, you will definitely get selected. Can't you do even this much for your selection? इतना भी नहीं कर सकते क्या आप अपने लिए? इतना तो कर सकते हैं ना. तो आज से पहले क्या हुआ, कितना टाइम वेस्ट हुआ, कितना टाइम नहीं वेस्ट हुआ, वॉट एवर हैपन बिफोर टुडे, नो मैटर हाउ मच टाइम यू वेस्ट, नो मैटर हाउ लेस यू स्टडीड, इट डज नॉट मैटर. वॉट मैटर्स इज कैन यू फॉलो दिस मंत्रा फ्रॉम टुडे. अगर आप आज से कर सकते हैं, यू विल डेफिनेटली गेट सेलेक्टेड, यू विल डेफिनेटली पास द एग्जाम. हाँ जी नेहा, PYT मतलब प्रीवियस ईयर टॉपिक्स. अभी क्वेश्चंस करते हैं बच्चे, थोड़ा रुको. अच्छा, अब दिस इज मोर फॉर द सेरिबेलम स्टूडेंट्स, एंड अगर आप सेरिबेलम स्टूडेंट्स नहीं हैं तो देन यू कैन सी व्हाट आर वी गोइंग टू डू इन द नेक्स्ट अपकमिंग डेज, एंड इफ यू लाइक इट यू कैन बिकम अ सेरिबेलम स्टूडेंट. So what we have decided is that in the last 2 months we need to have a combination of 3 things. We want that you get enough time for self study so that your revision is strong. At the same time we want to teach you also, like live classes that we take, we want to take live classes and teach you whatever is important. So we'll be doing that, and we want to ensure that your previous year topics are very strong, and this is the third thing that we want to do, and your MCQ taking skill is good. So we want you to self study, we want to teach you in the live classes, we want to ensure that you have a good hold on previous year topics, and we want that you do enough MCQs. So keeping all these things in mind, and of course we want you to take a couple of GTs. Keeping all these things in mind, we'll be starting with this schedule. So this is the schedule that we'll be following now. इसको थोड़ा बड़ा करके दिखाते हैं आपको. Right. So this is a schedule. We will be starting from 22nd, which means tomorrow. And our classes will continue till, this schedule will continue till 27th of December. So from 22nd of November till 27th of December, we'll be completing our first revision. If you have started late, we'll be completing our first reading. So what are we going to do here is, so you can see the name of the subject. So PSM you have to cover in 3 days, 22nd, 23rd and 24th of November, right? In 3 days, what are we going to do? On 22nd and 23rd and 24th till afternoon, till like 4 p.m. 2.5 days. You get for self-study. And in 24th evening, we'll have a test followed by discussion. So it's very simple. You study on your own, then you take a MCQ test on the app Cerebellum, and then there is a live discussion. Now, what is this study part? What are you supposed to do? The study part is very simple. If you are a student who has followed our mission 200 lectures, then in this study part you are supposed to revise it. You are supposed to revise it. If you were following some other source, in that case revise from there. If you did not complete any subject, or if you did not complete any particular subject or all of the subjects, in that case you have to use these 2.5 days for your first reading. So what I'm saying is, if you have followed Mission 200 plus classes, revise from there. You must have made some notes. Don't watch the video again, revise from there. If you have followed some other source, revise from there. And if you have not done from anywhere, then you use it for the first reading. Now how do you do the first reading? For those students who are doing the first reading, what will you do? I would advise that rather than going for the recorded lectures, So basically what we did, the last exam, July 2023, we had some mission live lectures for all the subjects. All those lectures are available in the app in the form of recorded lectures. The benefit of these lectures is they are focused on FMG examination and their duration is almost half of the current lectures. Let me repeat it. In the last exam for July 2023, we did some live lectures. They are available as recorded lectures. The good thing about them is their duration is half of the lectures that were taken for this examination. So if for a subject, for whatever reason, if you could not complete the subject and now that we do not have time, go to the app and use the July 2023 lectures. Why am I advising you to follow those lectures? Because they were totally focused on the FMG examination and they were much crisp, much concise. So if you could not complete a subject, the self-study part would be done using those lectures. Is that clear? Is it clear? So this is what we are going to do. We will be using the TND or END as we call it at Cerebellum to do these revisions. Now what about the classes? When do we do the classes? So we start with PSM, we go to pediatrics, we go to biochemistry, physiology, micropatho, all of that will be done in this 1 month period. Then we start with the classes. So we had two options. We could have taken the classes and left and had allowed you or had advised you to self-study before the exam. But our experience is that if we take classes before the examination, like 1 month before the examination or 15 days before the examination, they stay very fresh in your mind. So that is why we have decided that we will have marathon classes. We just had marathon INICT classes and students were very happy with it. They got really benefited. So we'll be having marathon classes in which teachers would be taking live classes and covering everything important, focusing on the PYTs. So we'll have marathon sessions starting from 2nd of June. So the last phase of ENDs gets completed on 27th and then we start with these marathon classes starting from 2nd of June. So on 2nd of June, on 2nd of Jan. So on 2nd of Jan we get Pharma, FMT, Biochem. 3rd we have surgery class. 4th we'll have again Path, ENT, Dermat. Then we go for Biochemistry, PSM, Anesthesia. Similarly, we complete all these classes by 11th. So from 2nd to 11th we'll have a lot of classes and this is not going to be only 5 hours a day. It's going to be around 10 hours a day. That is why it's called marathon. You are supposed to sit for marathon hours, 10 hours a day. Almost 70-80 hours of classes will be done 10 hours a day. It's going to be tough. You will definitely get tired. You will definitely feel that your mind is not working. But believe me guys, if you do these classes, the chances that a lot of questions will come from this is very high. Why? I'll tell you why. Before that, I think, okay. So basically what we have done is, for example, for pharma, we have 4 hours. Now if you tell GRG sir that your student is about to appear for FMG examination, you have got only 4 hours, teach him whatever is very important. In those 4 hours, he is going to give you the information which is very high yield and very likely to come in the examination. Same applies for every single subject. You will be given information which is very high yield, which is likely to come in the examination. And we wanted that you get this information like 2 weeks before the examination or 3 weeks before the examination so that everything remains fresh in your head, right? So that is why we decided that we will keep marathon classes in the January. Once the marathon classes are done, then we get to the final step of our preparation. Enters Dr. Zainab Vora. Zainab ma'am, like last time, will take 3 BTR sessions, almost 3 hours each. So in those 9 to 10 hours, she'll be again helping you revise most of the PYQs and the important PYTs. And then on 14th of Jan, we wrap up this course and we'll leave you with 5 days to do your own thing, self-study, revise, so that you are well rested and well prepared for the 20th January, the big day. Right? So all of this is going to happen. Before I start taking your questions, this is what is our plan. And I'm hoping most of you are our students. If you are not, you can still join Cerebellum Academy. How to do it? Go to cerebellumacademy.com, go to plans. You can subscribe for Mission 200 plus. This is the plan for FMGs. and the cost is, I believe, 16,000. And if you use coupon code Cerebellum, it gives you discount of 1k, right? And this gives you discount of 1k if you are not our student. And if you're our student, you don't have to do anything. As we have been saying that once you become our student, whatever we do, it's a part of it. GTs. So there are 2 GTs that I have kept, and I'll be talking to Janvi ma'am and Zainab ma'am, and I'll try to put one more GT. One GT is here on 31st of December, and there is another GT. Isme aaya nahi, I think. There's another GT here, and I am trying to get a third GT, which would be the mock exam, mock FMG. So this is something that I'm going to do today itself. MCQ solving is going to happen in the ENDs ना. MCQ solving जो भी कर रहे हैं हम लोग वो ENDs में होगा. Just to repeat everything. फिर से मैं बोलता हूँ एक बार. We'll be starting with self study plus test and discussion. The ENDs of Cerebellum. From there we go to marathon, which are live classes. And from there we go to BTR, and all while we'll be taking GTs. So all the 4 components, your questions, your self-study, your live classes, your BTR and your GTs, all 5 things will be done in these last 2 months.